My name is Mike Kittner, and today we're going to talk about rebuilding a 400-foot driveway, approximately anyway. It's around 375 feet. We're going to show you exactly that measurement in a minute. So basically, we're going to start with a before driveway up on top here, which it's pretty hard here on the bottom half, but this top half is, when it rains, it gets to be a sloppy mess. So our goal is to basically make this driveway as shown here on the bottom. Now, to do that, what we're going to do is use Google Maps. And if I go to maps.google.com and I go over here to my Your Places and go to Maps, and we create a map. Here we can actually create our own map on top of Google Maps and very quickly get where we want to go. What I'm going to do is just enter an address here, take us to where we want to go. Okay, get my base map turned on here. I kind of see where I'm working. Now, I've been to the customer site already, so I have a good idea of what the customer is looking for. But the nice part of it is you can be even talking to a customer over the phone and Google Maps his location and kind of figure out where everything is going to be based upon when you're talking to the customer. So in this particular case, the driveway, I can see how long it's going to be by measuring the length of the driveway, like here. So it's going to go out to about here. So it's about 375 feet. And I use this ruler to be able to do that. The other thing that the customer wants is this sluice pipe is kind of sticking out of the ground. As you can see in the original photo, you can see how the sluice pipe is kind of hanging out of the ground. We want to bury it underneath so we can get a good solid foundation over the top of that. So right now that sluice pipe from here to here is about 15 feet. That's about the width of the driveway, the overall width of the driveway. So this sluice pipe is going to have to be much longer. So if I put in a 20-foot sluice pipe, as you can see, I can easily clear that area without a problem. Now, he's got 15-foot tarp already, so the customer already bought, so we're going to lay that tarp down. And to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to create a layout of how the driveway might look when it's finished. So I'm just kind of going to go along the edge of the driveway here and kind of make a drawing of the finished driveway. So if I go out here a little bit farther, and it's over here in front, and then there's a garage. The garage is going in here, and this narrows back down to about 15 feet wide. Kind of make my way around the driveway all the way to the end. And this is a driveway estimate. And what I'd like to do is we'll just give it a color of yellow for right now. And this is the approximate layout. Now, if I bring my measuring tool, I can just kind of check and see, is that 15 feet wide? I got a little too wide. There's 18 feet there. If I go back to here, how wide is it here? It's about 13 feet, 14 feet. So what's my width here? About 15 feet. Okay, so we're pretty close. So this is a little wide up here. So if I want, I can click this, go back to here, and if I click this, go back to the pin. There we go. I can adjust the width of this driveway so it kind of better suits the way it might be fitting into place. Okay? Now you can see the old line and the new line that I created. If I want to correct that, I just toggle it back on again, and it'll kind of show me that new dimension. All right. Now, there's what's kind of nice about this tool, or why I like using this, is it just calculated the acres of the square area of this. So if I want to calculate the tonnage of gravel, I can do that. Now, this number, 804 feet, that's the dimension around the perimeter, which really doesn't help me in this particular case. But the 0.134 acres does. So in order to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to take the calculate gravel tonnage from acres. So what we basically do is take the amount of acres times 4356. That'll give me the square feet. I take the square feet times the depth in feet. And this is an average. So we think the whole driveway is going to be up here. I know it's going to be at least 12 inches. Down here, it's going to probably be 6 inches. So we'll probably use an average estimate of 9 inches. Then this needs to be feet. So 9 divided by 12 inches in a foot, it's going to be 0.75 feet, will give me cubic feet. Then if we take the cubic feet divided by 27, that'll give me cubic yards. Cubic yards times 1.4 will give me gravel in tons. So this is the formula that we're going to use to do that. So if I now go back to my map, and we know that we have 0.134 acres, 0.134 acres, let's actually calculate out the gravel that we need for that particular area. So we're going to take 0.134 times 43,560 times the depth, which is 0.75 inches, divided by 27 times 1.4. That's going to give me approximately 226 tons of gravel. Okay. So now that we have our gravel estimate, let's actually go out to the customer site and actually paint the lines.
Okay, now that we know our work area, I've got the drone and we've kind of flown over the driveway and painted the driveway lines. And I like to use the arrows to kind of point the edges as I go to dig away the sides of the driveway. And there's our sluice pipe and our rest of our driveway. Now we're going to be demoing a Bobcat 35, and then I'm going to be using a 110 TLB John Deere to do the work. Okay, so we're now on the job site, and we're just making sure we got our materials here. We've got our 15-foot wide fabric and our 20-foot sluice pipe that we're going to be putting in. And this is the driveway we're going to be working on. We're going to start on the lower half first. There's the French drain that we can put in, and you can actually click the link in the upper right there, and you can see how we did the French drain project. And then down here, this is where we're going to put in that sluice pipe. So right now, this pipe is only about 12 feet across. We kind of clean out the ditches here so we can get some good water flow. Kind of rearrange his rocks here so we can kind of straighten this up and get some good drainage over on the back side here. So that should go over quite easly. And then down on the bottom here, we're going to dig out the sod as much as we possibly can, so that it's probably about 4 to 6 inches down here on the bottom. All right, so let's get started, and we'll start working on the sluice pipe first. Okay, so the first part of this job was a little tricky part, is we had to pull out the sluice pipe, and that seemed to turn out pretty good. We put some stone in there to kind of slow the mud down so the mud doesn't end up going into the pipe, so that should work out pretty good. And then we also started with some fabric. So we have probably about 60 ton coming tomorrow, so we'll spread this out, and then we'll kind of crown it a little bit so that the water will run left to right of everything. So that should work pretty good, and the fabric works out quite nicely. Then tomorrow morning I'll start this curve, which is a little bit harder, so you got to use smaller pieces of fabric just to round the curve. And then about where my truck is sitting, that'll straight right back to the house. And then over here we kind of did the same thing. I'll clean this up a little bit more when I get all finished, but we got the sluice put on the other end, and then some drainage and some stone to just kind of help wash it all out when we get all done. So this driveway's almost there. So tomorrow morning we'll work on at least I got a little stone on it so it won't blow away tonight, and then we'll wrap up tomorrow, and hopefully tomorrow, if all goes well, we'll be able to get this corner finished. That should be finished. Then we'll be able to get to the driveway here, all the way back there. So I'm hoping we can get all that done tomorrow, if all goes well. Weather's supposed to be decent, so it's going to work out pretty good. Okay, well, here we are at the car wash, because I was coming back and literally got bug splattered. I mean, look at the bugs from the road. It's unbelievable the amount of bugs that we hit. I mean, just got lamb blasted with bugs. Working on this job. It's awesome with the fog rolling off the pond. It looks really cool. So we're working on the upper end of this driveway now. We got the lower end pretty much set. Truck should be here probably shortly. So now we're going to work on trying to get, there's a lot of sod in here, topsoil. So we're hoping save a lot of that. We can use that later when we go to clean things up. But in the meantime, we'll work on getting this all taken care of. So let's get started.
Okay, so here it is. We've got the main driveway done, as you can see here, all graded out. The 110 backhoe does a great job for doing this type of stuff. All that you see here is actually bank run on here, and it will set pretty hard. Actually, it packs really nice, and also does a good job with the rain and stuff like that. So I'm really happy with those results. We also had put in down here the sluice pipe. We did a little bit of stones down here on the bottom, got that all done, and sluice pipe put in, which works out pretty good. And before, this was laying above the ground, so that made a huge difference. We now got it below the grade, and that'll help them a lot. And then over here on the other side, we fancied it up a little bit. Now I'll come back and do a little bit more finish work, but right now we'll have the owner take a peek of everything and see what he needs, what else he wants moved around, and things like that. So in all, this project did pretty good. The driveway part took about 3.5 to 4 days, and we've got almost 200 ton of bank run in here. So the problem is this whole area right here is just a muddy mess. So even with a 4-wheel drive truck, he was getting stuck, because what happens is there's only probably about 2 inches of sod on top, but underneath is just loaded with clay, which made things really difficult to get in and out of here. But he's not going to have a problem now, because this driveway in some places about 8 inches thick with bank run, and then in front of the garage here, that's almost 12 inches thick. So I didn't bring it up to full grade. I kind of sloped it away so the water would run away, but we can always raise that a little bit more if need be. And then this is where his garage is going to go. And the good news is everything is still working. So we got a water line here, which I'm sure that we're going to have to open up later, but we've got, hopefully, some nice cool water coming. I got no water. What's up with that? Oh, maybe he's got the pump turned off inside. So that's pretty much it. So if you like what you see, be sure to hit like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next job.